When I finally get to the end of the road, I get these signs, which is a bummer, because it says where we're going there is 847 meters back that way, which I just came up. And all there was a sign down there confirming that apparently you were on the same correct road with an arrow. So walk back down, see if I can find it. Bummer. And yet here is a castle or some kind of structure. So curious signage to be diplomatic. Well, this seems to confirm we're here. If this cement was for the purpose of just stabilizing the whole foundation for this castle, my bet is that's the case. Probably over time, some of the natural side walls have worn away too. And here we climb up. Now what was the actual entryway, I don't know. Maybe there was something more formal here. We came up through there. Not a very large place. Whether these walls extended higher in the air, I don't know. Seem to be thick enough. And there's the tower. I guess you have to remember this was a place of last resort, I suspect. I wonder what the various holes and square holes and so forth are on the side of old buildings. This looks like it was simply a pipe coming out to hold a flag or something, but who knows what that other one was. Who knows how much of this has been restored, particularly this part to the right. Here we have some stairs that'll take us down to another portion, show us that it was actually larger. That might have all been the living space until you really had to retrench back up into here, which they don't want us to go into, probably because it's dangerous. You can see that's not a very large space, even considering that this wall comes out all the way to here and then back to there, somewhat of a triangle. Still not a lot of room, but probably several floors deep. You have to remember too that depending upon the circumstances, this might have been the place where you last defended before you slit your family's throats and then killed yourself by jumping off, so that none of you would have to suffer the indignities, tortures, etc. of the conquerors. But you can see that I'm guessing it would have been a pretty difficult place to attack. And again, the stability of this entire mount, if you will, and the fortress on top of it has been stabilized by these very large cement pillars. Typical Swiss. Good thinking. And below this tower and that secondary area underneath it, and looking about, we can see the walls for this plateau area, if you will, and then a slope down to still another area. Obviously the goal was to use all flat land that you could for those who had to occupy this space, and by doing so hopefully deprive the defenders of any place to stand, although it looks like there was something there that they could get some purchase on. These two walls are here just to kind of break up the posts or not, I don't know. They're covered with a fairly expensive cover, so that's a very protective cover. So it might be that these are very original. Yeah, some kind of firing port, I think. Yep. Here it looks like an actual entry into this lower part, and maybe it was the real entry to the castle, so we'll walk out that way. I want to go down here. Notice the walls are more modest here in thickness. Who knows how high they were. And they're offset a bit here, whether this was some clever way to obstruct access, I don't know, but I've seen that strategy before. Another in this area. This is the people come up here and camp and then leave a mess. Again, notice stabilizing capabilities. They're down here because it would be very unusual to have a space that could be used for something not used. And this is such a space. Notice that's a pretty steep wall. Whether anything was built on that, I don't know. You can see that it's fairly steep as we go down. It looks like it anyway. There, it looks like a small lake. I could be wrong. Now we can see along this wall a little bit. There's still a considerable amount of horizontal area. Why that was left, I don't know. But a nice clean corners here. My guess is that it extended right up against this under side of this rock that is also buttressed with cement. But what would have been in here? Is this something that was naturally here? This gap, if you will? It almost looks human constructed. There it looks like there's a little step-up wall. Could they have used this space also? I would think so for something. One wonders if this was manned continuously over a long period of time, or was just a refuge to run to when the El Toro Poo-Poo was about to hit the fan. Nicely constructed wall. Suggests that all of what we're looking at and presuming to be a room, or in this case a little square or patio or large room area, would have had multiple stories, since why not? So let's exit and see what's up here. There's a stone threshold. I'm starting to feel raindrops. They keep falling on my head. I suspect this route we're taking will tie in with the place where we came in. Yes, this might have been the original road or pathway up here. Probably filled in a lot just by runoff from rain and snow. There are now a couple of smaller paths here. It's quite possible also route down to Shalun. I'm going to go back the same way I came because I want to see more of downtown Vaduz. So there we have it. At some point in time, this was considered a very important protective resource. A closer look at this on the way back down, what it appears to be is a little dwelling, or at least a building, all enclosed with little glass windows. I assume it's probably an office for when they're actually working up here.